All right, we're dealing with 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 206,703 miles on the odometer. Got the light on, but we'll have to deal with it. This is, I don't know what the light's on for, but hang on, give me a second. All right, the light's off now. All right. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. I want to talk a little bit about Grace, aka Werevlog. I know we got a two-part grocery vlog at Kroger. Found some good deals, but we're switching over to the screenplay. All right, Grace, aka Werevlog. Kind of glad I don't have like tons of views because you always want to keep a movie quiet. But you know, they can listen. Here's at 48 seconds on The Perfect Kiss right here. Okay. This would make a good moment right there to do a bird's eye view when Mark the Uber driver, Gerald Ullman III, and John Blacksmith are in the vehicle. They're in the back, and then Mark the Uber driver's driving. Let's just say I'm Mark. And at 48 seconds, there's a bird's eye view. So we have 4 different close-ups in 48 seconds. Okay, we got a close-up of Grace LaPone driving ahead. We got a close-up of Mark the Uber driver. Then we got a close-up of Gerald Ullman III, and then we have a close-up of John Blacksmith looking at his tablet. Okay. Then at 48 seconds, it goes to a bird's eye view. I was thinking at a minute and 21 seconds, we do a bird's eye view tracking so that the bird's eye view is moving, because that's when the synthesizers come in on The Perfect Kiss. So it'll move kind of like a hot air balloon above, you know, kind of like moving over the vehicle, looking down. Bird's eye view means it's looking downward. So it'd be like floating above them, the camera, and it would be moving. So you have, you know, Grace LaPone way down there, driving his SUV. He's got the lawnmower in the back, leaving Lowe's. This is all segment when he's leaving Lowe's department store. He just bought a brand new lawnmower. He's bringing it back to his ranch to give to Louise, the landscaper, right? Because his mower blade broke. Okay, so that is kind of a segment where they're following him. And so we have like this kind of techno music. Now, let's say if New Order's like, absolutely no, blah, this guy's a psycho, whatever. Then what we can do is we can do an altered version of it and see what we can get away with, like rappers do. Like change some of the, you know, the sounds so legally we can get through it. Let's get a good bass player, you know, keyboarder. Some people that can really replay that the first minute and 21 seconds. So it can be done. And then also Ceremony, I wanted to use Ceremony, which is right here. And I wanted to use that like a hot air balloon looking downward, bird's eye view. A drone shot. When they're entering into Barksville, population 101. I'm sorry, population 1001. Sorry. I make some mistakes and stuff. It's because I haven't done, hang on, give me a second. To sit in solemn silence on a dull, dark dock in a pestilential prison with a lifelong lock, awaiting the sensation of a short, sharp shock from a cheap and chippy shopper on a big black block, whether the weather be cold or whether the weather be hot, or whether we like it or not. We'll weather the weather, whatever the weather, whether we like it or not. A big black bug bit a big black bear, and the big black bear bled blood. Susie sells seashells by the seashore. Okay, now we're ready. Hi, I'm Cole. Nice to meet you. Yeah, so I am making some choices for Grace, aka Werevlog, the screenplay. And there is a moment where they enter into the fictional town Barksville, Texas. Like a bark. Like bark, bark, Barksville, Texas. And the population is 1,001. And it's going to be like a drone shot. And I think it's going to be Ceremony. So, since I chose Ceremony, that means we can transition later to other moments of non-diegetic music and use things like Joy Division. That would be cool. And there's a song in there called A Lonely Place, which I'm about to listen to in a minute. It's a Joy Division song. And I thought it would be cool for the segment when Gerald Ullman III is crawling under the fence to get on the ranch. And that's right whenever he tells John Blacksmith the whole thing about, for now we look through, or actually, I think he does a silent prayer to himself about, for now we look through a glass darkly, but then face to face. That one from the Bible. I believe it's the Corinthians. I think it's Corinthians. And he goes under the fence, and then that's when he plants the thermal stakes into the ground, and then he's looking for the werewolf, and he's like planted a few of them. Only in the script there's only one that he plants. We can add a few more. That way we have more of A Lonely Place playing from Joy Division, and they're kind of scouring through the fields of the ranch, you know, kind of looking for the werewolf, and we have that music playing. So it gives it kind of a Lost Boys kind of effect. You ever seen the movie Lost Boys with Kiefer Sutherland? Also, I'm throwing a little bit of Fright Night in there because, well, Gerald Ullman III is kind of like a famous YouTube vlogger, kind of a loser, kind of a nerd. But he has a YouTube show and he looks for werewolves. Just like, I always say his name wrong, but it's McDowell. I think the last name is McDowell. Roddy McDowell from Fright Night played an iconic television hero character that hunted vampires. The same thing with Gerald Ullman III, only he hunts werewolves. It's kind of the same kind of thing. You know, he dressed up in a costume and everything. Same thing. Gerald Ullman III would dress up just a complete nut, like a complete nerd. This would be a good role for Gary Oldman, especially at his age, coming right off of Slow Horses. Now, he's probably going to stay with He is probably going to stay with Slow Horses until 2025, maybe 2026. So I'll have plenty of time to kind of craft this thing up. And I have 200 pages ready to go. Anyone who wants it, leave a comment. I'll send it to you and you can make comments on it. We're going to spin around here and do a little bit of wee. And then I'll talk about, I don't know, I'll probably just go right into the delivery. Not there yet. Hang on. Getting closer. Getting closer. Here we go. Wee! 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 All right, we're good. Okay, so I missed the song probably by one word. It's Joy Division in A Lonely Place. I did the same thing in Deep on Ellum screenplay. It's and Justice for All. I put Justice for All, but they'd get it, you know, Metallica kind of thing, and I put Metallica in there. But it's and Justice for All. But I didn't put that song in there. I put Blackened in Deep on Ellum. But this is for the Joy Division thing. All right, 6:02 arrival, 6 minutes, 2.6 miles, first one. All right, first we're gonna cross by the Trinity River of Fort Worth to see the skyline. All right, next we're gonna see a purple light. All right, we're going to be passing the Rose Marine Theater, which is my friend Rob Vasquez. He's a playwright and director at Rose Marine, also known as Artist de la Rosa of Fort Worth. Talking about Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan. It's going to be a it's going to be a big deal. It could sweep. It could sweep them all. We don't know. Maestro still didn't do so well at the Golden Globes. But Oppenheimer did do well, and Cillian Murphy won for Best Actor. But it doesn't mean that it's going to go to Cillian Murphy or Christopher Nolan for the Oscar. We don't know. I'm going to stick with Maestro. I'm going to stick with my guns. So I'm going for Maestro for Best Picture and for Best Actor, and I've only seen the trailer for both movies. I did see behind the scenes from Oppenheimer last night. It looks like a pretty good one. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. All right, there it is, the Rose Marine and Artist de la Rosa. They're a pretty good theater group. They do some good live theater. The original area was Le Teatro. I helped them open it right there. A few shows one summer back before 1999, around that time. Chicken Skin and Man, One Man, Two. I wrote Man, One Man, Two, 3 minutes old, which was, I think, right next to this Mexican restaurant. I want to say it was either that one with the little thing right there, but I don't remember that glass window, or that one at the barber shop. It was one of the two. Maybe the barber shop. Man, I don't remember. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. I can't really nail it. But anyway, we're going down. We're in Stockyards right now. way down this way is a new ISIS to the left, also known as the ISIS Theater. Sorry, passing truck with loud speakers. It's what they call a lowrider. All right, we're gonna turn up this way on off of Main. I don't know if this is going to the fire station. Good chance that it is. All right, looks like they got about 3 pizzas. Quit 12, an engine 12. Those tires. They could use those for training. I really don't know what they use them for. They got this stuff, their own gasoline. Something flammable right there. They probably know what it is. Unleaded right there. Don't know if they use diesel. Something right there with like a card thing on it. It's pretty crazy. All right. It's a little fire station, number 12. They just pulled in. Okay. All right, Latatra Theater was probably like right next to this one. We made like a. We went in that Mexican restaurant and sat down and talked to the owner of Latatra because it wasn't the same. Not the owner, but the person that was dealing with it. And she said that we could do Chicken Skin and Man 1, Man 2, 3 minutes old. So we would do like a kind of a performance reading of Man 1, Man 2, 3 minutes old, which is, it was written up at the Fort Worth Star Telegram. We got good reviews on it. Chicken Skin did pretty well too. It got good reviews. And that was Robert Vasquez's show. I played a character named Solomon, and I was a music producer that runs off with this young daughter of the family. She's like maybe close to late teens, maybe like 18, 19 or something. She runs off with the music producer to be a singer, and her mom says she can't sing. It was a good show. That one was more of kind of domestic family drama about Latino family, kind of, I guess you could say, maybe. I was hinted at that. And it was called Chicken Skin because it was another word for goosebumps. Man 1, Man 2, which was my show, was about 2 mental patients on a hill. They had escaped like an asylum or like a rehabilitation center, and they were looking down at a junkyard at a car, talking about the car, and the audience was kind of where the junkyard was, and they had binoculars and they were like looking at this car, and then it goes into a lot of other a lot of dialogue and philosophy, and there's a slight baptism in it with a cup of water, and also it talks about the ages of life, and it's kind of philosophical piece. I was stocking groceries at the time when I wrote it, but I remember when I first sat down and wrote it, I ate 2 pickles. There's Dairy Queen right there. It's heavy dialogue, somewhat inspired by maybe Sam Shepard and Samuel Beckett. And at the time when Robert Vasquez and I were doing that show, we were also, or I was also doing R. Crumb's Comic 3 at Hip Pocket. So we do an early performance there at La Tatro off of North Main, right across from where Rose Marine was. And Rose Marine had not been there yet. This is like 1998-ish, maybe? Ballpark figure, 1998-ish or so. Around that time. Or whenever R. Crumb Comics 3 was done at Hip Pocket, if you want to find the year. It's also in the Fort Worth Star Telegram. But I would go, and I think Rob would see R. Crumb Comics 3. He would go see that after a show. But what we would do is we would finish the show, and then we would I'd get in a car and I'd race over to Hip Pocket to be in R. Crumb Comics 3. And I played Funt in that show. So we were doing, that's how many shows we were doing. Lane was in it. Don't remember Lane's last name, sorry. Piantha or something like that, I don't remember. Yvonne Duch, I think is that. Yvonne was in it. She played the narrator in Man 1, Man 2. 3 minutes old. I know Lane was also in Chicken Skin. He played the son, the brother to the young daughter that runs off with Solomon, the music producer. And Lane, he's playing kind of like a Jeff Buckley kind of character, like a gifted guitarist. And the music producer wanted him, but he wasn't going to sell out to him. But the daughter does, and she runs off with him because she's like a singer. The mom was kind of old school Latino. I can't remember the lady that played her. She was kind of cool. She was kind of I don't really want to say animalistic, but there was like an animalistic aspect to it, because there was a line in it where she said we were like beautiful animals or something like that. I think it was like we were like beautiful animals. And there was singing in it too, but it was there was lip singing too. And Rob was in it. Rob played he introduced one of the singers in the beginning. It was about singers and kind of the, you could say maybe like Latino rock scene. But he comes out to introduce. He's like a groupie, or like I guess like someone that introduces a band, that kind of person. Like he comes out with a microphone and introduces the band. And the lady comes out and sings. So the mother was a great singer. She was a well-known singer. The daughter wanted to be a great singer. And the son was a gifted guitar player. It's called Chicken Skin. But it was a very good show. Anyway, if you can get copies of the scripts, good luck on getting copies of the plays. Especially Man 1, Man 2. I don't even have a copy of that script, and I wrote it. And it was passed around to a lot of different people, because I did it also at UNT and Denton. So it's been done in 2 different areas. Next delivery, 6:55, 7 minutes, 3.2 miles. All right, there is Jamel. That's also the Hotel Otto. They play a game called B-O-C-C-E. It's from the Roman Empire. You roll these balls in the sand, and the other balls hit the other balls. I think they're like stone balls or something similar to that, something of that nature. And it's almost like pool in the sand without the pool sticks. You kind of use your hand to roll the ball, and it hits the other balls, and it kind of represents the universe. It's a Roman Empire game. They play it there at Jamel's. I'm going to stab at it and say it's Bochi. But if you have a different pronunciation, put it in IPA, which is the International Phonetic Alphabet, on my, on the comments, so I can say it right for you. But I say Bochi. Okay, I'm not familiar with this one. Last one on the right. I think I remember this. Yep. All right, next delivery, 7:12 p.m., 8 minutes, 3 miles. Single version's pretty cool too on Ceremony.